Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. And now, here's Rob.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Bonjour.
Oh, yes. And how you answer the phone would be, hello. But that's not appropriate to say in the street.
No phones.
Yeah, I probably, if I was again dropped in the middle of Paris, could conjure up some high school and college French, but it's not coming to me right now.
I took Spanish and French, and the Spanish is not working out for me here.
But do you have any French left in your arsenal?
Yeah, bonjour, Marseille.
Okay, it's not
And,
Marseille. It's remember, merci. Exactly.
Merci.
Yes. And then the one I taught you this morning, or I'm sorry. Well, yeah, okay, I'm not going to lie.
Regrets.
No regrets? Ever forward. Okay, great.
Right.
So we're actually taping this last night because of the time difference. It is pretty late there. It's almost time for Johnny Carson. It's 11:20.
Yeah. And I'd like to congratulate Robert Chuck for finding us.
Oh, do we actually have someone?
We did not advertise that we were going to go ahead and stream this. We just decided let's turn it on YouTube only on Tuesday evening.
Yeah, like it's dinner time and people are lighting up the grill, and Robert Chuck found us. I love people with two first names. Hi, Robert Chuck. So this is Tuesday night. It's 5:20 here. And and Greg Klein is here too. I love our listeners. I so truly do. Yeah.
I love that we didn't advertise this and they still show
that
up.
we thought about this as we were setting up the shot. We just said it might be fun to stream it. So Josh is in Paris, France, and I am in Leesburg, Virginia. Both great, but Josh is traveling worldwide, and we wanted to do this sort of as we are almost, by the time this drops, a third of the way through your trip because you're gone for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think tomorrow is day 5.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you're about a third of the way through. Hey, Scott Corley, hi, and Clifford Bristow.
As this episode comes out, I wish I could do this live. I am arriving in Venice, and I'm very excited about my Airbnb in Venice.
Why?
Because it opens up straight into the canal.
Well, it depends on the way.
Not steps into the canal, I can.
It overlooks the
put
canal.
my legs in. No, like if too much water comes in.
Oh
if
no!
the canal overflows. It overflows into my Airbnb.
I never thought about like tidal changes in the canal. Do they have it? Do they go up and down like a low tide, high tide?
I don't know. I assume it all pours out somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know. I will
at the Venice Water
I'll send you
Treatment
some
Facility.
pictures.
Yeah, I'd love it.
I'm sure it's nasty.
Oh, it'll be horrible.
Water. I did. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm already seeing the nastiness of the Seine River.
Yeah. You're not anywhere when you're in Italy. You're not anywhere near Mount Etna, are you?
I don't think so.
That's the volcano that blasted today. I actually.
Wait, there's a volcano today?
Yeah. And I actually had it on, yesterday, had it on the beautiful video, and it was a lot of people running away from the volcano. And I said it was exclusive ad footage from the Sroka vacation.
No, I have not heard that yet. One thing that I noticed on this trip is that I have not paid attention to the news. Normally,
good for you. You're not
normally
missing
I have
anything.
the news. Normally I have the news on all day while I'm working.
Right.
And it's just on. And here, for one, it's in a different language if I just turn the TV on.
Sure, that's
so that
no
doesn't
fun.
help me.
Right.
And I just haven't.
Well, good for you. I think the only thing you've really missed is that Loretta Swit from MASH died.
I did see that.
Well, that's international news.
I was trying to remember if we mentioned her on the bonus show.
No, but we did.
We did talk about MASH.
Harry
and
Morgan.
I believe you said that Harry Morgan was the last surviving member of MASH.
No,
so I guess now it's true.
I guess, yes, I killed her, and I'm sorry. But let me change the tone. Greg Klein sent us $10. So thank you, Greg.
Hey,
I love it.
We'll do more at night if more super chats start coming in.
Hey, thank you for doing your morning show at night. So when we spoke to you on Tuesday's show, you were walking the streets and you were on, let me think, I can get this right, I think you were on the Rive Gauche, which is the left bank of the Seine, and that's where the cathedral is, I believe. So you had a good
I
time at the
was,
cathedral or not?
yeah, when we talked earlier today, it was right after I came out of the Notre Dame
Mm-hmm.
and walked around there, and I was able to show off a bakery. But yeah, Notre
Well, and
Dame
also
was,
I got some notifications, and I concur. A boulangerie is a grocery store. A pâtisserie is a bakery. So even though that grocery
oh,
store
well, I
had
still
bread,
didn't see the word that said bakery.
well, it's pâtisserie.
I, since we spoke, I have also wandered the streets and visited two grocery stores today just because I wanted to see grocery stores.
I understand. Did they have like any wacky brands or wacky food that
Oh,
they were featuring?
well, you know, Audi. Do we
Yeah,
have in America? Do we have Little
yeah, Lidl.
Lidl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. We don't have Lidls in Florida. So
Okay.
there was a Lidl on the corner, and I went and I said, I feel like I'm in Audi. And I know, isn't Lidl the one that's like brothers with Trader Joe?
Yeah, they were. I think they were like brothers that got in a fight about
Yeah,
cigarettes, right?
yeah. So now they
Yeah.
have two different
Uh,
grocery chains. So I
Did you
checked out
buy
a
anything
Lidl.
at the grocery store?
I did. I bought some candies, and oh, and I bought a energy drink at the second grocery store because you know I have a Red Bull addiction,
Yeah. Well, was this a Red
and
Bull or was this like La Energy?
no, this was like Angry Camel or something. No, no, Strong Monkey maybe, Angry Monkey. It was
I
something
would
like this.
buy anything with a monkey on it. That sounds great. And thank
Kelly,
you for wearing your
yeah,
beret
can you
again. We
grab that?
appreciate it.
Of course, Kelly. It's in the fridge. Can you grab me that energy drink?
So you've got you're at the Airbnb in Paris now.
I am.
What can you tell us the approximate location? Like, are you near any monuments
Yeah.
or a subway station or anything?
Well, according to the Airbnb listing,
Yeah.
we are a 5 to 10 minute walk to the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, so
Uh,
that puts you, I believe,
but
on
but
the
but
other
but
on the other coast. Yeah.
but according to real life, it is a 35-minute walk to the Eiffel Tower.
Well, you weren't walking
And
fast enough.
and no, it switched to Uber, and
Oh
so
yeah.
I am about a 20-minute drive away from the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
Paris is ridiculous because everything you want to see is so spread out.
I've been there
So
twice, and you're right. Have you
I
tried the subway at all?
I have not
It's a good
because
subway. It is. So,
the other thing is there's four of us, so once you add up subway tickets or bus tickets, it's the price of an Uber.
wow. Okay. Now, before we get to the details, and I know we have a lot to talk about,
Well, first I
how
can show you this
crazy it has
crazy
nothing to do
crazy
with a
tiger.
monkey. Come on.
I knew
You
it was.
got my
It's been
hopes all up.
it's 11:30 at night. It's
I
been a
know.
long day.
It's after your
I've
bedtime.
I've
But
been in the sun most of the day.
but still, when you give me tiger after you said monkey,
I know.
I'll try to hide my disappointment.
Oh,
So,
crazy tiger! It still
okay.
got my attention. Still was a purchase at the grocery store.
Now, did you like check it for the back, like like it's not got like rocket fuel or benzodrine or
I
anything
did.
in it, or
I did the Google Translate thing on it, and there was nothing that stood out to me.
good, 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 good. All right. So if you're traveling mostly by Uber, you mentioned at the
Yes.
front of the show that Uber is not so great there.
No. Well, no. It's Uber here is fine. It's
Okay.
fine. But my complaint that I was telling you is I did Uber here. I did Uber in London.
Yeah.
Last week I did Uber in Boston. I did Uber in DC. And when Uber first came out, Uber was nice. These
Yeah.
black cars came up and picked you up. They were clean. They offered you a charger, a bottle of water.
John Mulaney
Now,
did this whole thing. I don't know if I think you were gone when I
I
played it. He was talking about, he said that Uber used to be like flying TWA in the 60s. You know, it
it's
was classy. It was nice.
yeah, and that's the whole reason. Now I still use Uber because it's convenient. I open up the app, I'm done. I don't
Sure.
need to say, do you take cash? Do you take card?
Right.
Any of that stuff, it's just done. So I still use Uber. But now it's like a Honda Civic pulls up, and it's barely. It's all right. You ran a vacuum through here at some
Yeah.
point, so
Yeah.
it's passable. And then
And if you've got four
and
people, it's going to be tight anyway.
right, and in London, the driver spoke English, no problem.
Right.
In Paris, it's the only time I'm running into having issues with people not knowing English.
Well, but
To,
you can do a Uber pretty much on your phone without
I
having
do.
to talk, right? Yeah.
Yes.
One thing
Yes.
that must be great over there now is that I was never over there when there was PayPal or Apple Pay, which sounds like Pig
Oh,
Latin. And so now you can just
Apple,
pay with everything on your phone. It's got to be great. You don't have to change
everything,
money. Yeah.
everything I'm doing is Apple Pay, except for the taxi ride from the airport to town,
Hmm.
who did not tell me that they did not take card, and thankfully, I had some euros.
Oh, okay, good. So you brought some
So
euros just in case.
yes, some emergency euros, which yeah,
So,
but
we right
everything is
now,
Apple Pay and tap.
that's got to make it great. We've got 20 people watching right now, and I want to say thank you to
I
all
love
of
it.
them because this was just a sideways thing we did. So
And I'm guessing many of these people can't tune in at 8:15 in the morning either. So thank you for
probably,
still
yeah.
subscribing and getting excited for the page.
Well, I think
And
there's a
go
lot of
share, and all that.
there's a lot of excitement about your hat. I'm sure it's all over
Okay.
the socials right now.
Yeah, it's $2 or €2 for this hat.
€2. You didn't Apple Pay that, or did you Apple Pay the hat?
I believe it was everything is Apple Pay. Yeah.
Okay. Did anyone else in the family get a hat?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Owen and my mother-in-law also have hats.
Great. But not your wife, Kelly, hatless?
No.
Or is she
Kelly
just
will not
holding
wear
out
the
for a
hat.
better? She's holding out for a better hat.
Oh yeah, she's waiting for one of those Italian hats.
Oh, I love it, and we all know what that is. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no idea either.
An Italian hat.
I'm assuming the guy on the gondola ride tomorrow will be wearing a silly hat.
Yeah, you know what's great is that I've done the gondola ride at the Venetian in Las Vegas, and it's nice because the water is chlorinated.
But that's also like tonight, right before we recorded this, I went up the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
And that's like you now telling me, well, I've done the Eiffel Tower at King's Dominion.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Well, no, it's 3 times bigger. You have to admit, for the Eiffel Tower, and I know this is your last night in Gay Paris, that it is a really miraculous sculpture, and it's fun to see it wherever you're in town. You can see it. It's very impressive, I thought.
Yeah.
Did you like the
Yeah, I agree.
crooked diagonal elevator that gets you up to the first level?
Yeah, so I went up to the second level.
Okay.
Not all the way to the top. I guess tickets are really hard to get now. If you want to go all the way to the top, you got to
Really? Wow, I did not know that.
Because I think it's scalpers.
Okay. Well,
I
could
think
you
it's
call
scalpers, and it's these ticket groups because you could get overpriced tickets if you want a tour guide to take you up there.
Oh,
And I
so
don't want
that's how
that.
they do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they get around the scalping rules. Is we're not scalping, we're buying for our tour.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, but
So-
Eiffel Tower was always a highlight for me, so I like that.
But yeah, even just going up to that second platform was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and from there you can see the entire city, and it's really a remarkably well-designed thing. I was always just really impressed with it.
What stood out to me from the Eiffel Tower, once you get up there, is how solid it feels.
Yes, there is no wiggle at all.
It's open, and there's no. I get in a skyscraper, and every now and then you can feel it move a little bit with the wind, and there's none of that.
Well, that's thanks to Gustav Eiffel. What a good guy. He also designed the interior of the Statue of Liberty. And I'm now out of facts. Yes, he did.
I found one of the mini Statue of Liberties today.
Oh, it's very popular over there. Yeah, because it was a gift to us.
Right. No, and then we gifted them one back.
Ah, is that how it works?
But the one we gifted back is 9 feet tall.
Yeah, isn't it? Wasn't it a plot point in National Treasure, one of the National Treasure movies?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think it was. I love those stupid movies. Okay, so you're going around. What other great? I mean, you've mentioned the 2 greatest things in the city. I think the Notre Dame Cathedral and the Eiffel Tower. Have you seen anything else? Have you seen the Arc de Triomphe? The big arch. Oh,
yes.
That's cool.
Went there. That was cool. I did the Toot bus today, which is the little tour guide bus that takes you around.
The Toot bus?
They call it a Toot bus. TOOT bus.
You see, I would think they would call it TOUT because that means, I believe, everything. It means everything in French. But this is like toot. Like it could be like a whistle or it could be a fart.
Yes, this is the fart bus.
Okay, good.
So, yes.
So
they have all these
fart
stickers
bus
that say, toot on app, toot on this, toot on that. And
did you toot on anything?
I did not toot on anything. I'm sure that's part of their money-making scheme is people will buy these funny shirts that say toot on
Yeah.
Paris.
Well, you're too bright for all that. You're not going to have any of that.
But so that allowed me to see a few more sites, and I did a Seine River cruise last night.
Seine.
So whatever.
I know.
The
Well,
I
I'm
is
just.
before the E.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they don't subscribe to that, I don't think.
Just because they pronounce it wrong doesn't mean it's right.
Well, the Seine River, the city of bridges, it has been called. You go under many bridges. And again, was that an evening thing or a daytime thing?
No, that was an evening thing.
Beautiful. What a good move that was. Yeah,
that's excellent. It was great.
All right.
It was great, and got to see everything else. I did get a crepe, as Paulie's asking in there. I got a lemon sugar crepe.
Oh, excellent. We one of the previous locations of Podville Media was at the top of a very old building, and it used to be a Starbucks on the first floor, and they turned it into a creperie. And it's very niche. They're delicious, but I never saw them being very busy. But I guess it's a touristy thing over there.
Yeah, we had a crepe shop in Annapolis as well. Same thing.
Did the family each get a crepe of their own?
No.
Okay.
Kelly and I had shared a lemon crepe.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very romantic.
So
I want to go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if we're just sticking to what I've seen in Paris,
right?
I checked in with you guys on Monday when I had just arrived to the Louvre,
right?
And then I did go and see. For one, what's my favorite thing about Paris,
right,
is that they are older than the United States.
Oh,
like the fact that everything here is so old, we have nothing like that.
Yeah,
and
I mean, translates. If you tell someone in Europe that, oh, there's a building in my town from 1700, they don't care. They were already moving on in 1700. They were on to other projects.
And I'm in the museum, and that's the same thing. I'm looking at this pottery that's like 500 years before Christ and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, I'm staring at it like, I can't make that. How did these people do this?
Yeah, I know. It's remarkable, and it is a great... So I'm glad you went around the rest of the Louvre and didn't just do the Mona Lisa experience. Because as I recall, I was telling Mike, Carrie could verify this, I think we went in and saw everything but the Mona Lisa because it was just such a crowd there.
Well, and here's what's irritating.
Okay.
Tourists. Tourists are so irritating because here's what everyone wants to do. And the reason everyone is jam-packing this Mona Lisa is not to go up and stare at the wonderful brush strokes that Da Vinci did, or to look at the shade in on her face. It's to go up there, turn your back to the Mona Lisa, and get a selfie with the Mona Lisa. Get your selfie,
yeah, exactly.
And rude Americans up there pushing their way, arguing, Germans making some noise. And everyone just wants to be up there to take a picture. And then they all freak out because they're all pushed up to the front and they just want out.
Oh, so they want to get up and get out without incident, and both are a struggle. Yeah.
It's all about them. Plus, Mona Lisa, not that impressive. There's this gigantic picture on the wall opposite Mona Lisa that I could stare at all day.
Right.
It's way more impressive.
Yeah, Mike gave me crap when I said a lot of people underestimate this or overestimate the size of the Mona Lisa. Oh. It's small. Right?
Oh, it's very small.
Yeah. He said everyone knows that. And I said, I don't know, because I think you get the impression it's bigger. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think it was giant, but I think it's even smaller. It's a small poster.
Is
Definitely,
it like,
it's a lot smaller.
As a tech guy, would you say what, like 3,000 by 3,000?
No, I'd say it's like 18 inches by 24 inches.
Yeah, it's not big, but
it's really small.
It's very famous, though.
and to the point that I had to Google afterwards, why is the Mona Lisa so famous? And they had some art reasons for why it's like Da Vinci invented new paint techniques and stuff on it. But then it said, but its real popularity increased when it was stolen and then featured in movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're all rubes.
Yeah, 100%
for a movie because, sure, there's the mystery of who the girl is. Nobody taking a selfie with it cares who that girl is. Cares about the paint strokes. It's all, it's the Mona Lisa. We saw it in a movie.
And a lot of people ask why she's smiling, and the reason is she is a regular Mike O'Mara Show listener. That is why she smiles. We'll break down your trip further after these words. It's Josh and Rob, the evening show. And thank you for joining us. I love every one of the 21 people that found us quite by accident
Love it.
Greetings to all of you. Now, summer is just around the corner. I know you could say summer starts with Memorial Day, but actually it starts by, what do they say? Meteorological summer starts on June 20th, so it's coming up. But either way, the folks at Mint Mobile have a hot take. We all want skimpy wireless bills and big, fat wallets. And with premium wireless plans for just $15 a month, you, Josh, can have both without breaking a sweat or breaking the bank. Say bye-bye.
I've been so impressed with Mint Mobile. It's service bars pretty much match T-Mobile for me right now.
That is so, it's
Not-
great.
Not sure I can announce a competitor, but there we go.
And so it was said. We can do that on the evening show. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, the huge monthly bills and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your own phone number along with your existing contacts. Fantastic. You get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. That's like a gift. And this year, you can skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Just get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/TMOS. That's mintmobile.com/TMOS. An upfront payment of $45 for a 3-month 5 gigabyte plan is required, which is equivalent to $15 a month. New customer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options are available. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details. And don't you have like a dozen or 15 lines going into your phone thanks to Mint Mobile?
I have 2 lines going into my phone at once.
That's
now.
so cool to me. And you're still getting it through Mint Mobile. So check them out. They're a very nice partner for the show. Trip has joined the discussion. Hi, Trip. It's good to see you. Okay, so you left your home in Florida and you flew out of what airport when you left?
Oh, flew out of the great MCO.
Which is?
I don't know what it stands for.
Miami?
But something Orlando.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's something in Orlando.
It's
So I
Mouse
flew out of Orlando.
Cruise Orlando.
Rob, we spoke before there, and before I went on the flight, and you said, "Well, get some pictures of some losers wearing Mickey ears, sad because they're going home."
Right.
And I'll tell you what, like clockwork, I show up there. It is pouring rain when we pull up to the parking lot.
Of course.
We park because of 2 weeks. We park off-site parking. Take the bus in. First thing I see when I get off the bus is a family showing up to the airport, not in Mickey ears, but all of them in goofy hats.
Oh, I know. Clearly, the ones you mean.
It's the end of their vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the big ears,
and the teeth.
Caps.
Yeah, it's a great hat.
Whole family on this. Kids obviously upset that it's over.
You know what?
And
it's
I hate exactly what you described.
I hate to pick on kids, but that's fantastic. Good for them. I never got to go to Disney as a kid. So enjoy
I tried to get a photo, but with the rain, it just wasn't cooperating with me.
I understand. You painted a pretty good picture, what with the goofy hats and all.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Orlando, it's an international airport. Is that what took you to London?
That is what took me to London, yes.
Okay, so you flew on, as we described before, Norse Airlines.
Norse, Norse. I saw some people in the fan club found it. Norse Airlines.
It really does require Googling. I mean, it's an obscure airline.
So obscure, they don't have an app.
You're kidding.
So I said, well, how do I get my ticket? And they're like, you have to check in when you arrive to the airport.
It's 1980 then. You don't want to do that.
And then I go to the self-check-in, and they don't even do that at the airport. I had to go up and deal with people. And here's the whole reason. The whole reason is because they are a rip-off machine. The whole reason is they want to personally see that your backpack fits in a little silver tube that is technically smaller than what's under the seat, but they want to make it even tighter.
Right.
And slightly smaller than their restrictions to make you screwed. And then to weigh every carry-on bag, because if you go more than 22 pounds, they're going to charge you for it.
Now, is 22 pounds like in metric an even number? Because 22 seems kind of arbitrary.
I don't know where they came up with 22. I guess maybe they were competing with someone that did 20-pound limits.
That's the number I always play on roulette. So that's what I have to assume they chose it for.
So we get there, and it's stressful. It's craziness. It's all these people. It's stuff I haven't dealt with in 15 years of flying, where I have to go to the counter. I don't even
That's
check bags, and with anyone else, I don't even check bags at the counter. You put the
that's
sticker on yourself, you drop it off, and you go.
that's ridiculous. Wow, that is so
So,
backward,
and
especially in a, I mean, maybe in like some small European city you'd have to do that, but this is
I,
Orlando.
it's Orlando, and it's an international flight. From my
Oh,
experience, international flights were always better than American flights.
as a rule, yes, you're exactly right.
So, but so then they go there and they say, "Oh, none of your backpacks will fit in there." So
Except they will, but they won't let you use it, right?
well, no one else's would fit in the little. It would it. uh, We'll get to later. Everyone's backpacks fit under their seats perfectly fine, but they wouldn't let them be the under the seat carrier because they didn't fit in their restrictions. My backpack has all these different straps and everything. So
Right.
I cinched it down really tight. I rearranged
You're
things,
going to beat the
and
system, Josh. You're going to beat the
well,
system.
the lady irritated me so much. I was shoving it down with my foot to get it into the metal box, and then I told her, because at first I said, "Look, it fits," and she said, "No, it's sticking out like 2 inches." So then I just shoved my foot down on it, got it down all the way, and I said, "Look, it fits," and she said, "Fine."
Wow, you did. You
So
challenged her.
so but I then had to pay $85 for 3 other bags
Ugh.
because of their stupid rules. $85 per bag, that is.
Oh my God.
Unexpected. And my bag weighed 24 pounds instead of 22.
Right.
So I thought I could, you know what? That is my stupid battery charger. So my backup battery thing that's going to blow up and take the whole plane down anyway.
No, hey,
And so I knew,
take it easy. That's
I
not
knew
your
exactly,
plan.
No, not my plan. Just the batteries. I always unplug the
Yeah,
little
of
battery
course.
thing.
Hmm.
But I know that thing's what did it, and I was just going to take it out and put it in my backpack.
Sure.
But she wouldn't let me because it's already been weighed.
That's not the Norse way.
And no, it makes no sense. So,
Okay. So now you're roughly, just over $300 lighter than you had expected.
oh, and I haven't left the state of Florida.
And you haven't left
So
Florida yet.
I expect to have to spend all this extra unexpected money. I did not expect to spend it in Orlando.
I think what you should do is find a Federal Express office whenever you leave, wherever you're leaving from, and mail your stuff back.
I thought about it, but then it's got to go through like customs and
Yeah,
could be
it's not
stuck.
like
And
it's not like
I don't want to.
the what do you call it, the bobblehead dolls that we mailed to you when you were in DC.
Well, that's DC. I don't want to pay tariffs on my own stuff.
Yeah, well, you know who to thank for that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
I'm kidding. So let us start from the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. So you get on the plane and you're flying from Orlando to London.
Yeah. Plane
And
gets delayed because I've never been on a flight that's not delayed.
yeah,
in the
you're
past
lucky.
2
You bring
years.
the luck. Hmm.
So it gets delayed 30 minutes.
Now, in
I
that
get
30
on-
minutes between departure schedule and actual departure, did your brother Matt show up? Because it was right about to take off.
Right. He might as well have.
So
It's
how was
his-
the
and
plane?
It's his type of airline. It's cheap.
Yeah. Is it was it a wide jet? Did it have 3 hunks of seats or was it a center aisle? What kind of plane are we looking at?
3, 4, 3.
Okay. And so you had the 2 aisles. That's always nice. Was
Yeah.
all 4 of your travelers, were you all in a row?
Those 3 were together. My seat was upgraded, paid an extra $100 so that I could get some leg room.
Well, that's important for you because you're
Because
very tall.
it's a 9-hour flight. I'm very tall. I need that. So I get on and I find out that you enter in the middle of the plane
Right.
on this plane. So to the left for all the rich people that spent like $2,000 a flight, whatever it was.
Yeah.
To the right with normal people.
Do you think Norse really has a $2,000 first class section?
I looked because I was ready to upgrade to first class
Oh my
on my way
gosh.
home.
Yeah.
And it was like $2,500 to upgrade.
Oh,
And then I saw the
always
pictures,
ask
and
though.
they're
Always
they're
ask.
basically beds.
Yeah. Oh. When you
And then
check it, one time I was flying to Miami and I asked about an upgrade when I got there because I had plenty of time. I'm sorry to say this to you, Matt, but I got
Yes.
there an hour and a half early. And so I said, do you have anything available in first class? And they said, we can upgrade you through to Miami. It was 2 flights for $35. And I was
Yeah.
about to pay $50 to check a huge bag because I had stuff I needed
Right.
to bring to my dad. And I said, so for $35, this bag flies free? And they said, both ways. I said, sign me up. And I was drinking then, so I had a lot of vodka. They made no money on me. So do ask at the last minute
And
about first class.
I don't think that works anymore.
This was not
I've
long
tried.
ago. This was not long ago. Always try, though.
Now they cancel flights if it's not full, and they make sure every flight is full. This flight didn't have an empty seat in it.
You know what? They're going to say no to you because you've already said no to you. You've got to
Now,
you have to have faith.
now the best thing I had going for me on this flight, well, the best thing I had going for on this flight is that 3 weeks ago I flew to DC.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago I flew to Boston. Like air travel, whatever, I've got it down. So I had planned. I took some sleep gummies, some soul sleep gummies
Yeah,
before the
that's
flight. And there
good
was
for
a
our
big
sponsor.
balance between which ones do I take? Do I take the daytimes or the night times? And I decided it's a 9-hour flight. I'm going to take the night times.
Yeah, and you're flying essentially overnight.
I'm flying
Right?
at night.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was it an 8 o'clock flight? I think something like
Okay.
that.
That makes sense.
So I said I'm just going to sleep. I fell asleep before takeoff.
God bless you. I just wish I
I
could sleep on a plane. I cannot do it.
I woke up many times to kids kicking my seat or whatever,
hmm
or the rude guy sitting in the middle seat next to me. But I fell asleep, and then we get off the plane. I talked to Kelly and Owen and all, and they're like, "No, we got no sleep. We were scared because there was so much turbulence in takeoff. It was
And you
just
had
shaking
no
the whole time."
idea.
And I'm like, there was bad turbulence. I had no clue. I was
That's
out
so
cold.
great.
So
This
for me, it was great.
this quick question from the chat room. Now that you're in France, how are the fries?
Oh, the freedom fries,
Yeah,
right?
or pommes frites, as they would say. Yeah.
Yeah. They were fine.
Were
They
they
were
McDonald's good? Were they better than that? What's the deal?
they were your run of the mill mom and pop shop fine.
Okay, so nothing sensational.
No, and this was I got them from a street vendor type setup, so they're supposed to be good. Like
Yeah,
those are
you would
where I
think.
want
Yeah,
good fried food.
yeah. Did you
So
have you
nothing
eaten any
special.
beef that you thought might be horse?
No, I'm not. Maybe in London.
Okay.
Maybe in
Okay.
London.
Well, let's say, that's a good segue because you've landed now in Great Britain.
Yeah, let's talk about London when we come back.
So we will take a break and talk about London. It's a beautiful place, I'm sure. So yeah, this is Josh in Paris. This is still pretty wild that I'm talking to you in Paris. Rob in my basement, like always. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to hear about London on the Mike O'Mara Show. Have a great day. Anything to get to the end of that music bed. Oh, I have French music for this spot. Hold on. I have it right where? Here. Ah, Cremo.
Oh, I'm back on the river cruise.
Did they play this music like this?
They did. This is what we heard the entire time. This was it. This is me floating past
All the things. Under the
all the
bridges.
different things.
Yeah.
Under the bridges.
Did you-
Graffiti all over the place.
Did you pretend you were an Olympian? Because
No,
they all
not
entered
this
on that
time.
river. Anyway,
Not this time.
let me talk about Cremo. I'm wondering if the people of Europe need some Cremo because it makes you smell so good. I love body care stuff, but I hate when it's boring, and I don't want to run around like a 12-year-old reeking of Axe body spray. Yuck! That's why I love Cremo. You deserve freedom from sweat and stink, and Cremo's deodorant is designed to provide men with 48-hour protection. Cremo products are barber grade and made with pride, professionalism, and passion to guarantee you quality without compromise. Elevate your deodorant experience with Cremo's 2 latest signature scents, Italian Bergamot, which is bright and fresh and robust. I wear that. And Palo Santo is deep, smoky, and refined. Sounds delicious. Deodorant is not just for smelling good. The scent you choose sets the tone of how you present yourself, and Cremo helps men make an unforgettable impression every time. I wish that all the people that are in the chat room right now, all 23 people, could come over and nuzzle me and smell how good I smell. That would be terrific. Talking Talking to you, Paulie. Head to Target or Target.com to find Cremo's new line of antiperspirants and deodorants in the Italian bergamot and Palo Santo scents. Once again, that's Target or Target.com. Don't make the mistake and buy a pro-perspirant. That'll make you sweat like crazy. You don't want that. So you are now, let's go back a few days. You have landed, I can't think of the name of the airport
Yes.
in London. Do you know what it is offhand?
It was not Heathrow.
Okay, so
We
you
did not
flew
land
into
in Heathrow.
well, I
We
don't
flew into
think.
it's like Glasgow or something.
Do you think that Norse?
Gaspin.
Do you think that Norse Airlines used to deal with
No.
Heathrow and then they
I
said,
think-
we don't want you anymore?
I think they do not have permission to fly into Heathrow because Heathrow
I'm not
was
sure they
nicer.
have. I'm sure they have permission to fly into Europe. Period.
I don't know what the deal is with this airport is at all. The plane lands. I mean, I wasn't planning on even talking about this part. Plane lands, and we have to get off, and then you go off on like the normal, normal terminal tunnel thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's a proper name for it, but the tunnel didn't go to the terminal. It went to a set of stairs that went down to the ground.
That
and
sounds.
then you go down the stairs. No elevator, so I don't know what you do for the wheelchair people.
Well,
you go down the stairs, and then you get onto a bus.
That sounds like
crams,
hell.
The bus, they kept cramming people into the bus.
Of course.
It was so tight, and then it swerves all through, and then it gets you in another place where you have to go up the same set of stairs to then go through. So, yeah, I don't...
And you knew at this point your adventure had begun. You said, this is not America.
Yeah, I said, Americans would do this better.
Yeah, of course.
Norse probably built this airport.
The Norse airport.
It's probably
I love the notion that Heathrow shut out Norse Airlines. I don't know if it's true, but I think it's pretty great.
But so it was fine.
Sounds like it.
And we, no, whatever, we were there. It was time to move on. It was
okay.
We
so
landed
you get
safely.
out.
That's the most important thing.
You got your luggage okay back. It wasn't a true cluster to get your luggage or anything.
All right, that was amazing. The luggage, checked luggage, I grabbed it. It was instantly there. By the time I dealt with the stairs and the buses, it was there. And customs and all that stuff is so simple now with digital. It just scan, like you don't even see people. It's all self-serve now. So that's
great.
easy.
That's great. Okay, so
I'm sure it's easier to scam, but
you landed in whatever airport it is,
yes.
And My Fair Lady Airport, and then you got on a bus. Now, did the bus take you to your hotel, or where did you go from the airport to where?
I went and I got a taxi from the airport.
Okay.
And went to our hotel.
Okay.
To drop the bags off because most people didn't sleep all night, so they wanted to rest a little bit. So we did rest a little bit, and we had some time in the window to relax. So
at any point, did you say, "You guys sleep? I've had plenty of sleep," just to rub it in a little more?
That comes later in the evening.
Okay, good. So now I'm guessing if you flew overnight, when you arrived there, it's probably like 9 in the morning, early-ish, right?
No, we landed I think we landed at 10.
Okay, all right.
a.m. So we got to the Airbnb. I think we ventured out again around 2:00.
Okay.
And we went to London Tower.
How was the Tower of London? How was the Airbnb?
We did a hotel.
Oh, you did a hotel
there. Okay.
In,
right around the corner from Westminster Abbey.
Oh, nice.
Very, very tiny. The room was about the size of the bed.
Yeah.
But not bad. It was fine.
I found that over there, rooms are smaller. Things are smaller in Europe because they're not big Americans. They're not big and fat like us. So, okay, so you do that and you venture out into London. It's probably what now, like 3:30 mid-afternoon?
I think it's like 3 o'clock. And we go out we got tickets or whatever for the Tower of London.
You see the crown jewels?
We saw the crown jewels, was reminded that middle school boys in London also need Cremo because there were some school trips there.
Yes, understood. And,
so that was a little bit of an issue as you're going in these small rooms in the afternoon heat.
Yeah, and it's it's Europe. They don't wash as much. I'm not going to paint with a broad brush, but it's true.
No, and I run into lots of people that way, and I'd like to just think maybe it's not the Europeans, maybe it's all the tourists. Let's just
Could
blame
be.
the tourists because I've
Could
been going
be.
to tourist places.
Now,
So it's
yeah.
probably those Canadians.
I guaranteed, and they're planning their attack. So you're there, you're at the Tower of London, you're looking around, you're
Yes.
seeing the stuff. Are you making any small talk with the locals or anyone else that's like on the trip to see the Tower of London? Because this is an English-speaking environment, you probably could do that.
Yeah, yeah, much easier. I can talk to people and everything. So yeah,
Okay,
definitely did
what
some of
was
that.
did you glean any information or meet any colorful sorts? What was the
You
value
know,
of talking to people?
it was not much value. It was mostly people didn't want to talk. It was
I understand.
mostly telling. I was shocked. Now 2 towns in, I am. This beret still doesn't make me look French. Everyone knows I'm an American. We talked about my issues at the candy store this
Yes.
morning,
Yes.
where I broke the whole store. Um, and I talked to the waiters with bad English
Hey,
at the restaurants we go to,
how
and
about this?
and
Pull the beret a little to the side. Now you look French.
yeah, now I'm ready to paint.
You see? Perfect. That's why you need your old buddy Rob. I
Yeah,
just turned you French.
but still doesn't work.
Okay.
But I talked to everyone. What shocked me is that I've been told that if I go to the UK, if I
Yeah.
go to London, if I go to Paris, that everyone will hate on me because I'm an American. And
Okay.
everybody will hate on me because of Donald Trump.
Now, I was going to ask this because, I mean, this is I guess we had a 4-year respite, but we're back to having Donald Trump in power. And I can't imagine he's admired overseas. So what were you able to figure out from you being, and I don't mean this in a bad way, the ugly American?
Nobody cares.
Really?
Nobody cares. I know that TV and news and everyone tells us that, hey, they all care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. No one
Really?
has said anything to me.
That surprises
Locals don't
me.
care. I know.
So you'd be
Me
more
too.
likely to get hit up by a MAGA person in like in Baltimore than you would in France, because
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah. Nobody
wild.
cares.
Now, are
They
you
don't
wearing
care.
anything besides the hat, of course, that identifies you as an immediate American? Or are you
I mean,
you're throwing American vibes, you're speaking English.
I've got all the American vibes. I'm speaking English. I've got my accent that it's not like I'm going on trying to hide a London accent. I am.
I don't, you know what?
I have,
I'm too kind of a person to ask
you
you
know,
to try.
I can't do it. I was probably wearing Baltimore Orioles shirts a lot.
Right.
That's a giveaway because they don't have baseball over here.
Yeah, losers.
They just got soccer, and Paris is now covered with graffiti because they won some soccer championship and had a
I
party
know.
on Sunday.
Yeah, and they call it football. They're not fooling me.
Yeah,
They're not fooling me.
it doesn't work.
What after
But
the Tower of London?
no.
I'm curious. Was it shopping? I remember going through your itinerary. Might have been shopping.
Yes, there was shopping. Shopping was very expensive.
Yeah.
So that canceled out some shopping. So it turned shopping into window shopping.
Okay.
I went to
Did you see something that was? Did you see something window shopping that was way overpriced? That had it been cheaper, or had you been a man of means, you would have said, "I need that."
No.
I bet your son did. I bet your boy did. I bet your wife did. But
Okay.
you're not a big shopper, I guess.
I'm not a big shopper. I look at something and I say, "Oh, I can just order it on Amazon."
Yeah, I'm similar.
I
you don't want to have to carry it around.
Right. And what am I going to have to then jam in my backpack and pay $85 to carry
That's right.
back?
You got to add it to everything.
all
So
that.
you
So
ended up at the toy store?
So we went to a toy store, Hamley's Toy Store. It's like 200 years old or something.
Okay.
It's 5 stories. It's an impressive toy store. They've got people running around playing with all the toys. They let the kids play with the remote control cars and stuff.
Cool.
That's cool. My son did pick up a drone, and it was this little plastic drone about this big.
Right.
And he wanted to buy it, and it was 90 pounds.
That's more than $90 then, right?
I believe that works up to like $112.
Yeah, and you can get the same thing on Amazon for probably $12.
Or Temu for 50 cents.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
I also didn't know how that would work packaged and through customs and all that. So I
And
told
also,
him, hey,
you wouldn't let him play with it on the plane. That's against Norse
right,
rules.
right, exactly. So
Was
we
it
did
big
have to
enough
go
you
with,
could attach a phone to it if you wanted to
no,
do like some video? Oh, then it's
no,
nonsense. I almost said a bad word.
it is.
Okay.
It was ridiculous. So we did that, and then I went. Oh, you know what? I went to lunch at Borough Market.
Borough Market. What is that?
Borough Market. It is a bunch of like street vendors
Uh-huh.
and a bunch of booths set up, and like buy your fruits here, your meat here,
Oh, neat.
fish and chips here.
Yeah.
Very cool. I told you a lot of this trip was planned through TikTok videos.
Yes.
So all the TikTokers are going to these things.
Oh, you're
So it is
kidding. So you're
it's
surrounded by
jam packed with
influencers.
people,
Yeah.
and I feel bad because all the locals are clear. They're there buying their vegetables for their
Right.
meals that
They
week,
need to
and
do
then
this.
so many people walking around with their selfie sticks and talking to themselves, and I'm like, yeah, I should do some of this, but all these other people embarrass me.
I think what you should have done is gotten into someone else's TikTok.
I've been in search TikTok, you'll find me. I'm in the background of so many TikToks this week. I don't know who these people are.
You got to go around and find it and tag yourself. That's
I was
great.
on the toot bus, and the guy talked to his camera for 30 minutes with me sitting in the background.
Hey, toot that.
So
That's great. So,
yeah.
what
So
did you eat authentic fish and chips at the Borough Market?
I got got some chips and fish.
Were they served in newspaper, a la tradition, or is it different?
No, in a cardboard little fry container
Mm-hmm.
with newspaper looking print on the outside.
See, they tried to fool you. That's not the
Well,
classic way to serve it.
They're cheaping out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, old newspapers are pretty cheap, I think. But probably
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how it works in Europe. So you got
I
your
don't
fish
know.
and your
They might not
chips.
print them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
So we did that.
with all the TikTokers running around Borough Market, were any TikTokable foods bought? Like anything nutty?
Not
Because I know your boy has been looking forward to stuff like that.
not by me. That was part of the grocery strip run today was to grab some silly candies.
Okay, cool.
So like gummy Smurfs, which here are called like Smunchkins or something.
That's great. I love it. It's funny that as many miles away you are, we're still similar because I went to the grocery store today and I bought for Robert gummy shacks. They're
I've purchased them for Owen. So yes,
so
I'm very familiar with the Shackalicious.
Shackalicious gummies, and they're shaped
Yes.
like his face, and
Yes.
they were on sale, so that's great. So you go back to the hotel, and I imagine everyone is like 100% worn out.
Yeah. Oh, so I think we got back to the hotel that first night. I think around 7:30.
Mhm.
We did not have dinner. We were going to go back to the hotel and figure out like rest for a moment and have dinner.
Right.
Everybody fell asleep
Yeah.
except
yeah, it
for me
happens. Yeah.
because I got some rest.
Yeah.
on
Well,
the plane.
you're just coming out of the marijuana haze of your soul
So-
gummy.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I grabbed a daytime one,
Sure.
and then I said, you know what? In 30 minutes, there's a baseball game on TV.
Oh, how
So-
great.
Yeah. So I said, well, for 30 minutes, and I said, and I'm getting hungry. So I
Right.
went out and I wandered the streets of London to find some food.
Okay. What did you come up
And
with?
well, I went to some convenience stores and I bought some weird chips and some candies. I grabbed, they have Red Bull. They have Red Bull, but it's in glass bottles. So I grabbed a few of those
That's pretty cool.
because I've never seen that before.
I bet
So
it tastes better.
it did.
Yeah.
It did taste better.
That's
and it
great.
makes me wonder if it's the glass bottle or if it's the lack of chemicals like we have in.
Could be. I
America.
imagine if it's called, was it Red Bull brand?
Yeah, it was Red Bull.
Then
Yes,
it's got to
it was
be
Red Bull
probably
branded.
the same. I bet it's the glass that tastes
Well,
better.
no, like the Skittles here are different. I bought them because, well, here's the deal. I read a story last week about how because of RFK or whatever, Skittles has changed and removed this, and this from their new formula later this year.
Right.
And then they said, well, this is how it's been in Europe since 2021. So I found myself a pack of Skittles.
See,
They are
you're a
better.
Skittles guy. I'm not much of a Skittles guy.
I-
We talked
I
about
know,
them on
I
the
heard-
show today. I mean,
I heard you bash them. You
they're not
bashed them
great,
on
not great.
Monday.
Yeah, you know
Monday,
what's really
you
bad? If people put out like a plate of, or it's like a bowl of Skittles at a party or
do
something.
not mix them with M&Ms.
Yeah, if you think you're getting an M&M, you're going to have a rotten experience because it doesn't
It's
taste
horrible.
like chocolate. Right.
And the other way around, because I
Yeah.
love Skittles.
Okay.
Skittles
Well,
is my number one car snack.
okay. So as far as Skittles go, how did they taste to you? Different? Or do they taste like
Yes.
brie, or what do they taste like?
Fruitier.
Fruitier. Ah, yeah.
Where
Okay.
there's the thing in America where all this, like the color doesn't change the taste.
I was going to ask if that was the case because I've heard
No,
that all
here,
Skittles taste
different.
identical. Yeah.
Not here. Every color tastes different.
Yeah, that's great. You know what? I don't feel bad they lost the war over there
So
because
I look
they've
forward.
taken their stuff and gone for. And when I say the war, I mean the War of 1812.
So I hope that RFK has fixed that and we get good tasting Skittles back in America this summer.
All I know is that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is now flying exclusively on Norse Airlines.
Yeah.
It's his favorite. He flies first.
So
Okay.
we did with London. We did the next day. We did some stuff. I don't know.
Did people wake up in a sour mood because they had missed an evening in London?
No.
Okay,
No,
good.
Everyone
good.
was perfectly happy.
Good.
Kelly woke up while I was. I forgot. Yeah, I went and grabbed food. I grabbed a pizza as well
Oh, good.
because I knew
Because
pizza
when
was
you're in
simple
London,
and it
get
was,
the pizza.
Well, no, it was simple. It was I wasn't planning to get it. But then I
Okay.
came into the hotel and there was a sign that said 24/7 pizza
Oh,
at the
like an
entrance to the
invitation.
hotel.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, yeah, pizza sounds pretty good, and that might have been the gummy hit at that point
Yeah, I think
as well.
so. Yeah. Mhm.
So I got a pizza.
Sometimes
Kelly did
the
wake
gummy results in a trip to just the pantry when you look around and you say, hey, chocolate
Yes.
chips, they look good.
and every now and then out to 7-Eleven.
Sure, absolutely. I'm totally with
But
you.
yeah, so Kelly did wake up while I was eating pizza and watching baseball, so she did get to enjoy some of the pizza.
Now, what
but,
were you pulling the baseball in on your computer, or was it actually on broadcast TV?
I was watching on the iPad. I
Okay,
didn't
that's
feel
what
like
I
going
suspected.
out.
Yeah.
We talked where some people invited me to go to a bar to watch the Oriole game. I didn't feel like going out that night, so
It would have
decided
so
to
been
watch it.
like, it would have been just like Ted Lasso and that bar with the lady. You'd go there but instead of soccer, it would be the
Yes.
Orioles. That's
Yes.
exactly what it would be like.
Yeah, and technically they invited me to come out Sunday's game, which was like 5 or 6 o'clock, and I couldn't do that one.
Oh, it's a drag.
And Saturday they weren't available because it's late night, and who wants to go out to watch an Oriole game at 9 o'clock at night that's going to be over at midnight?
Exactly. You're welcome, Al. Again, thank you to everyone who has joined us in the
Yeah,
chat room
you better
today.
be liking and sharing and all
Please
that
like
stuff.
and share and do all that stuff. Yeah. So, and that pretty much, so what was your next day in London like?
Woke up with the plan that, did breakfast at a little place attached to the hotel that was
Great.
supposed to give like
Mhm.
an English buffet breakfast. It all sucked.
Okay. Did they have sausages?
Yeah,
They
their
love
sausages are
sausages over
horrible.
there. Yeah.
Their bacon is hamish and lots of fat. Their
Hamish.
eggs. Who wants eggs with beans?
I don't,
I
but
don't
they
want-
put
I
beans
don't
with
want
everything.
beans for breakfast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't they call it like a proper English breakfast and it looks like a pile of
Yes.
vomit? Yeah.
And that's what I had. I had a proper English breakfast.
Great.
Not good.
Wow. Thank
See,
you, David Tope, for a $100 donation. David, you're the quill.
David wants more evening streams, I think.
Yeah, I think he does too. And you know
I
what?
think,
we can occasionally do these.
Yeah, I think 10 more of these and we'll do it again next week.
All right. So let's take a break real quick and
yeah.
then we'll do your last day. And also, because you took the channel, which always, that delights me because I think it's a very cool thing. So take a break, folks. And when we come back, more of Josh the European, or as I called you today, an international man of mystery, because only you were able to figure out what I was screwing up when I was posting the show. So thank you for being that. Yeah, you're great. You are a man of mystery. Stick around, folk. We'll be back after this. Oh, you're going to like this ad, Josh. Podcaster's Warehouse. Everyone has a story. Josh has a story. Is yours being heard? The Podcaster's Warehouse helps you turn your message into a top-notch professional podcast that connects with your audience, builds trust, and drives results. Just show up. They'll handle everything else. Studio gear, that's provided. Editing, they take care of it. Publishing and promotion, covered by someone who knows what they're doing. And whether you want a public podcast for customers or what's become very popular, an insider's podcast just for your team, it's better than getting a memo. They'll craft it for you your way with expert guidance, custom formats, and professional coaching tailored to your brand. You'll inspire loyalty, generate leads, and stand out in your industry. Build your podcast with the pros. Visit thepodcasterswarehouse.com to book your free intro call. One voice can change everything. Let it be yours. I added this. Ready? Get Strokified at the Podcasters Warehouse.
I don't think that'll catch on.
You don't think?
But
I think it's pretty good.
No. But I will say, I saw someone ask earlier if I was sticking to my budget. Let's just say I could really use a few more clients over at the Podcasters Warehouse.
Yeah, please do. Come in and have lots to say. You can talk into a microphone until Josh breaks even on his luggage. So we go back now. This is your second day in Great Britain, right?
Second day.
Okay.
Yep. So we head to Buckingham Palace.
Now that's where the king lives. Right.
This is what I'm told. King never came out. I've requested, rang the doorbell.
Did you yell?
I did yell.
Okay, well, I'm sorry he didn't come out. How was the changing of the guards? That always seems like an overrated thing to me.
It is so overrated. You come out. For one, the marching, what nobody tells you is, for one, I don't know why I couldn't figure it out with Google, but none of the guys were wearing the big bearskin hats anymore.
What?
They
Why
were
not? That's the
last
whole
time I was
thing.
in London, they were wearing the bearskin hats. They weren't.
What are they wearing now? Like bucket hats that say king on them?
It was like small. I don't know. It was much smaller hats.
Maybe it's their summer uniform.
So the change in the guard starts with a marching band out in the streets.
That's fun. Everyone
And
loves
the
a
marching
marching
band
band.
comes in.
Yeah.
The marching band is playing pop tunes.
What?
They're not playing. Yeah, they're not playing.
Like I would
they're
think they
playing
would play like
songs.
Rule Britannia, like I just played. You know, something big and
No,
with pomp.
me too.
Yeah.
No, they were playing like Barry Manilow.
So they're not even playing great pop records or current
No,
pop
no,
records. What were
not
they playing?
current America.
Copacabana?
Oh, I'm blanking on the song they were playing.
Oh, I know them all.
But,
you know I can't smile without you.
no,
Not that
it was-
one. Was it? Well, let's see. It wouldn't be Mandy because that's too down.
It wasn't Mandy. That's too depressing. It was upbeat.
Was it the
I'm pretty sure
Bandstand
it was
Boogie, the theme to American Bandstand?
It was not.
Wow. Did you get video? Because we could always research it after the fact.
Yeah, we can research it. I did take some video, so we
Good.
can research it later
You
on.
started the video before you knew the changing of the guards sucked?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
great.
And in fact, look at it coming to TikTok soon, where I'm going to voice over these things talking about how much this thing sucks.
I can't wait.
So here's the deal. You get there early. Everyone gets there early because you want to get a good view up on the fence. so you
Exactly.
can see
People
it.
love waiting in lines and getting there. You know who would never see it? Your
And-
brother. Your brother would never see this.
No. So I'm there an hour early.
Yes.
Something he would never do. We're right up on the fence.
Your whole family's there an hour early, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
great. Great.
Right. So we're all standing there. Then we finally start hearing the marching band, and you hear it way out. Like you're like, I think that's part of this.
Sure.
It's way out. No one tells you what's going on. Finally, the marching band marches in, playing
Right.
their songs. They then go into the fence. I know someone's going to be mad at the way I described this thing, but they go through the gates open.
Right.
The marching band goes in. They close the gates behind them.
Did anyone
Marching
try to
band
sneak
plays.
in where the gates were open? No one tried to sneak in?
No one did. No.
Okay, good. Good.
Marching band plays a little bit. Then in the military, then a guard comes out from behind the building,
Uh-huh.
and then I think it was a guard that walked all the way from the marching band down, and then he went around the building, and then
Okay.
he comes back out from behind the building. But now there's like a dozen more Army guys behind him, and they march out, and then they do like some spins and twirls
Right.
and marching things, and then they march, and then they face each other.
Okay.
And then the marching band plays, and then they do something yelling
Yeah.
thing,
Hi-ya!
and then the marching band
Hi-
plays again,
Yeah.
and then the marching band plays and marches out of the entrance. So they open up the gates again, the marching band marches out, and this time the military guys follow them.
So this is
And-
this is all a huge spectacle so they can
Yeah.
bring out the old and bring in the new. When they really could
Yeah.
just have a guy show up and do it.
Well, the secret is they swap guards every 2 hours.
That's
they
not
do
a
this
secret.
but they do this every morning without with whatever. So
So
anyway,
they only do
the
the
marching band.
ceremony once a day.
But here's the deal: the marching band and the army people start marching down the street.
Okay.
They march so far that you cannot see them, you cannot hear them,
Where do they
you
go?
don't know what's going on.
Yeah, where do they go? Do we know?
To the very end of the road. I don't know what's at the end of the road, but I know they mark all the way to the end of the road. And then nobody knows what's going on. But what you do know is the gate, because the marching band and the army people left, the gate is wide open. Now
what?
Well, here's the thing. Whenever the gate is wide open, the people are corralled in with these fencing posts, so you can't move.
Okay. All right.
So you are trapped in there. Again, they don't
So
tell
what
you
are they
anything.
like? The stanchions with the big red velvet ropes? Is that how they keep you back, or how do they do it?
No, it's the big silver fencing like that police use.
I love that you just said, "I wish." Like it would have been better if you had stanchions.
Because here's the deal: they put this in so they block like your entrance in, so you're all trapped in there. There's not a single word that says what's going on. Everybody thinks the ceremony's over.
Right,
because they march
would.
so far, we don't see, we don't hear them, which means everyone's shoving to one side to get out. And I'm standing there yelling, "There's no exit. You're blocked in." And then they go around, turn around. I have bruises from people just slamming their backpacks into me.
Oh my
God! Trying to get to the exit that doesn't exist.
Well, it's great. At least you didn't get any like cuts, because then you could go back to the hotel and have the changing of the bandages.
Right. It was 25 minutes until the marching band came back.
That's dumb. I never knew I've heard of the changing of the guard, but I never knew what happened.
I never knew what happened either. So anyway, the marching band comes back, and then they go in, they drop off the military people that just followed them all the way down the road, and then they march back off, and then they close the gate, but they still don't let you out of the corral until the marching band is far off in the distance, and the military people march back behind the building. As far as the guards, I didn't see the guards actually switch. I think
that's the trick. They don't want you to see. That's that British craziness.
So,
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Producers, but they do. I'll just keep this ultra simple. They try to pull an amazing crime that goes wrong, and there's no way out of it. And at the point of that, Gene Wilder just keeps saying, "No way out. No way out." And that's what I say when I get in a crowd like that, because I want people to know, no way out, no way out.
Yeah,
you're all
that's
stuck.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was saying, there's no exit. And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "It's locked in. Look, the gate's open. We can't go anywhere."
Yeah. What do you mean? What do I mean? You're seeing the same thing I am.
And then you got the people that don't speak English. So they're just, I tell them no exit, and they still try to push their backpack through me.
Sure. Well, you're probably holding a secret of some sort.
And I am looking at the cop standing on the corner holding the fence. Like, it'd be nice if you said something. You could just announce what's going on.
Is this a Bobby with the hat and everything?
Oh yeah, he's got the Bobby hat. Yeah,
that's fantastic. You got to. Yeah. I mean, you got to kind of like that. That's pretty good.
I do. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I just want someone to say something, because all you want nobody knows what's going on. Exactly.
And to Trip, yes, I get Don McLean jokes. You made me laugh. Thank you, Trip. He says the marching band refused to yield. So I guess the whole troop left that changing of the guards feeling rather dissatisfied.
We all left saying, "Well, this thing's overrated." But now we can say we've seen it.
Yeah, well, I think that's great. You are doing a public service to all the people that are within the sound of our voice.
If you care about the changing the guard, check it out on YouTube.
It's all there.
Then decide if you want to go.
Yeah. Maybe Josh will put something up on his TikTok page where you can see the changing of the guard in 1:10. I'd love that. So this is over. You've spent a long time to be disappointed. So I imagine you're not happy. Yeah. So then what? Then what happens?
Oh, no. See, this is where everything starts to blend together. Oh, no. We went to tea.
Oh, that's right. You had a tea.
Why not have tea?
Right.
I had tea.
And that was?
The that might have been one of the highlights of the trip. It was great.
Did they have like
They
little
bring
sandwiches and?
they bring out little sandwiches, and then when you eat all those, they bring out more little sandwiches,
Hey, great.
and then they bring this multi-tier thing of desserts, and they place that, and it's all mini desserts, so you can
Love
try
it.
it all.
How
And
was the
entire
tea
time,
itself? I like tea. So was it?
and
Did it
the
taste
entire
like
time,
Did it taste like an American, like a Lipton tea, or what was it like?
you have well, they have a sheet where you can pick whatever type of tea you want.
Wow,
I am very simple. I like myself Earl Grey tea.
very nice. Yeah, I like
And
that.
I'm going with, I don't need any of this with gunpowder or stuff in it and everything.
Right, right,
I don't want fruits in my tea.
right.
I don't, so I order an Earl Grey. They bring me my own pot of Earl Grey, and they give you a little strainer that you lay on top
Top
of
of your
your
cup.
your mug, and then you
Yeah.
pour it in there.
So the
And
tea
it
is
was,
actually brewed in the pot, but it's going to have loose tea leaves, so you have to strain it.
yes, I
Okay,
believe
great.
so.
Okay, cool.
So you strain it, and it is the best tea I've ever had.
That is so awesome.
And I asked Kelly, I said, how can this tea be so much better than tea back home? And she's like, well, have you ever had tea with loose bags? And I said, or with loose leaves? I said, I don't think so.
Right.
Or do you string your tea? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So then I'm
You're
like, so
you're
that
more of a
I might
tea
be
bag
making
guy.
a purchase.
Oh, that would be so cool. You
when
know
I
what?
get
I'd
home.
love to start every episode of the Mike O'Mara Show with a spot
the
of tea. Yes. We need another camera
So,
and a microphone just on your teacup, though, so we
Yeah.
can hear it. So, can I skip ahead to the Channel? Because I know you traveled
you
from
can. I,
England to France via the Channel, which is the English
Yes.
Channel tunnel. Right.
Now, the last thing in London I will say is
Yes.
that evening, uh, long evening, everyone's tired. We still needed dinner.
Right.
So I did walk around because my favorite thing to do in these towns is just wander
Yeah.
by
The best way to
myself.
see it. Yeah.
And I did that the night before by myself. This time I did it and I wandered out to get McDonald's for the family.
Now,
Big-
although
now-
it sounds like a rude move,
This-
there's something that your wife was eager to try.
Well, yeah, my wife is a vegetarian. She's
Right.
pretty vegan.
Mhm.
So they have a whole line in London of McPlants. And it's like burgers and nuggets and fry and all this plant stuff. So she was
McPlant.
excited for that. McPlant is what they call it.
That's great.
And so she was excited for this. And I was hopeful that the fries were like they used to be in America.
With the beef tallow.
Yeah, with the beef tallow. And, you know, it's McDonald's. What kid's not excited for McDonald's?
Exactly. Yeah.
So there I bought they got all that stuff and the McPlant stuff. She said it was all good. They all liked it. I purchased for myself. I said, well, I need to buy stuff that's not on the American menu.
Right. Right.
So I got a chili double cheeseburger.
So it's a McDonald's double cheeseburger with chili on it.
Yeah.
And so they've made it also look like a pile of vomit, like your breakfast.
No, it ended up being just like a chili sauce or something.
Oh, okay.
It
All
was
right.
bad. But that's not the only burger I got because there were multiple things on
Of
the
course.
menu.
Yeah.
And
You ordered a
it's 9
sampler
o'clock at night.
menu.
I also got the steakhouse burger because
Now, I
what
think
says
we've had them
McDonald's
here.
like steak?
I think we had that here for a limited
Okay.
time. But it's
Well,
great that
I
you were
don't
able to get
know.
it over there. Yeah.
And that's where I probably ate some horse meat.
Okay.
Is
I
with that
understand.
steakhouse burger. It was not very good.
Mhm.
And the meat, it was not McDonald's normal meat. It was
Yeah.
definitely a different meat, but it was not like any steak I've had before.
I was told before I went to Europe, and I know I ate horse, but look for the shape of any steak and the grain, and if it slices like meat you're accustomed to. And if
Yeah.
not, it's probably Mr. Ed.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
this was stupid McDonald patties pressed,
Oh, okay.
so it was probably a horse.
Okay, what did Owen get?
That cheeseburger, 2 cheeseburgers and fries, and
I love kids. That's great.
nothing. You know, same thing he gets at home. I said, "What do you
Okay.
want?" The usual. So, and the fries sucked. They weren't good.
Oh, okay. Do they have numbered meals over there? Like, could you go in and ask for a number 2, or is that simply an American thing?
I don't know because McDonald's is even starting to phase those numbers out because it's all digital based. and
Yeah,
app
yeah,
based.
true. Yeah, I don't
So I
like it.
didn't talk to anyone. I went to a screen. I
Mhm.
did buy a Big Mac meal for a homeless lady who came in asking for
Oh,
money.
that's very sweet.
So I said, yeah, I'll buy you a meal.
Yeah, you should have gotten her
And,
some McPlant.
well, she said, well, what do you want? I said, well, what would you like? And she said, whatever, buy me something cheap. You can pick it out. So I just hit the number one.
That's very
And
sweet
then I
of
was
you,
like,
Josh.
do you want a drink? And she's like, yeah. I said, okay, great. I said, what would you like to drink? And I've got all the sodas on the screen.
Right.
She goes, well, do they have milkshakes? So next thing I know, it's a $12 meal.
Well, you know what? That's a good thing to do for people. She's thinking fondly of you right now. But, you know,
I
if you
hope
wanted
so.
her to be healthy, you really got to get her a McPlant.
But yes. Yeah, exactly. But yes.
I don't know why I love that
next-
phrase so much.
The McPlant, I'll tell you, they had McPlant nuggets. And when you bite the nugget in half,
Yeah.
you know what you see inside?
What?
Real vegetables. You could see the carrots and the peas.
Seriously? So it's like
Seriously.
stuffed. Huh.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I would like that with real meat. I think that might be good. It's like the world's smallest shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I think with some ranch dressing, it wouldn't be bad.
Don't do ranch. Then they'll definitely kick you out of the city. All right. We've got another show, you and I, to do next Wednesday. So let's go ahead and wind this up with what it was like riding the Channel, which I've not done, and it looks pretty amazing. And for people that don't know, it is a tunnel that connects France and England, and it's not a short stretch of pipe. I mean, it's a long ride. So how did it go?
The channel is very impressive because most of it is on land. Most of it you're in Europe or you're going across France.
Right.
But there is a big chunk that I was staring at on the map where you are underwater.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
And it's like, for me and you, like growing up in the Northeast, we go through tunnels.
Yeah.
Like I went through the Harbor Tunnel. I felt like every day for some part of my
Harbor
life.
Tunnel is such a great tunnel. And I remember my father explaining, he says, we're underwater. And I just got to really dig the whole notion of it.
Yeah. And I remember as a kid, like going through there after a rainstorm and there's all this water and being like, is this thing leaking?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's weird is that my wife and everyone's from the South, so they don't know tunnels.
Right.
So for them, they're freaking out. Wait, we're going underwater? We're going in a tunnel?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What? And then it's like explaining to them, well, no, you can't see the fish. Basically, you're underground, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're underground. There's just water on top.
That's so cool, though.
But it is cool because the thing goes like 200 miles per hour.
Yeah. How is the quality of the train? Is it a beautiful train? Does it feel old? Because, you know, if you travel on the East Coast, you have the Metro line and you have the Excella, and the Excella is very new looking in comparison, I should say.
It felt a little old.
Okay.
Not like metro station old.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it can only be so old and still go 190 miles an hour.
Like an older plane.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And the shuffling on and off of people, not as bad as a plane. You carry your own luggage, which is actually nice. No one likes to check luggage.
No.
So you carry your own. We got to sit two people facing each other with the table in the middle.
Oh, that's the best seat. The best seat on the train. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was only 2.5 hours. It was so much better than a flight. If they could take me a train from Florida to DC that went that fast with nonstop, I would come see you every weekend.
And then I would also want one from DC to Paris, so we can go to Paris together.
That is quite the tunnel.
That would
be.
Not? But you know what? They can use technology. Thank you, Matt Bonner, for another drop in the tip jar. This has been so cool to have all these people at the drop of a hat joining us. So thank you all. Josh, let's pause here because we can recover next week and talk about Paris and more for your upcoming trips. And also do look into Mount Etna because I really don't want your Italian trip to be ruined.
I head to Italy in the morning. So I will definitely, after this broadcast, I will be looking up Mount Etna.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I don't know how to spell it. It's not Edna. I know that. That's an old lady's name. But
I'm sure if I just search Italy volcano, it's going to come up.
It's probably going to pop up. Absolutely. Josh, I want to say thank you so much for taking time. Oh, you know what I did? I did something stupid. Hold on.
You are playing it out of your iPad.
I did not connect it a la Bluetooth. So you need to give me
what I call a Mike O'Mara, and it is playing in the living room.
Just stop in 1 second. Everything was going so well.
It was going
Almost
great.
perfect. Almost perfect. Hold on. I just need to connect it via Bluetooth. This is something I should have done. My apologies to you and the entire European Union.
I think one more super chat would fix that.
I do too. It would have to buy a new iPad so I could use a wire. Josh, thank you for taking a hunk of your vacation and spending it here. This is so much fun. I'm jealous.
Sorry for the AirPod sound quality.
That's all right. I think it's fine. I just think it's those are the real deal. Those aren't Timu.
No,
pods.
These are real.
Yeah, no expense was spared. Josh, safe travels, and I know we'll text back and forth and stuff. But have a great time over there. It's a once in a lifetime trip, and I hope you get better than the changing of the guard for the remaining 2/3 of it.
I will check in with you on Thursday as well.
I love it. All right, folks. Thank you to the 24 people or so that showed up tonight. This has been a lot of fun, and we will talk to you soon. Josh, I will see you later.
Bonjour. Or I guess it would be merci.
No, it would be au revoir.
Whatever. I'm working on 2 words. I'm leaving Paris in the morning. See ya.
You're doing great. Bye. Bye, folks.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
I'm over here now.